What's up, y'all? Hope y'all are having an awesome day. So I figured I'd showcase my 78 F250. So right off the bat, this is a 78 Ford F-150 body that I pulled out of a junkyard. It's North Carolina, bought it for like 650 bucks. All right, well, I decided to swap it onto a 3/4 ton chassis with Dana 60 up front, Dana 70 in the rear. It's got a 5.9 Cummins in it, 12 valve of course. This thing is a bad son of a gun. So see here, I found a photo of it, but when I first got it, this thing looked like it belonged in a junkyard. I mean, it looked like, and also it was gonna get crushed, so I saved it, which is a cool thing. Before I get in too far into this, fixing to piss some of you guys off, but you mentioned that it's a 3/4 ton chassis. Well, it's actually sitting on a Dodge 2500 chassis, a 1996 to be exact. So you're probably asking, you know, why did I decide to do that? And, well, that's a valid point, but a valid question or whatever. But so I wanted a 5.9 Cummins, you know, and the Ford chassis that came with this truck, little half ton, rusted out. I'm like, dude, I don't want a fool with that. So kind of looked into it. I'm like, dude, that's gonna be so much extra work trying to find a Ford chassis, 3/4 or 1 ton, then swapping the axles and setting the drivetrain, engine transfer case. I'm like, dude, let's just do a chassis swap. Read a couple forums, folks have been doing it, so I said, all right, let's do it. So went and bought a Dodge 2500 96 model, had 190,000 miles on it, or 185, and a pretty good truck all around. Paid like $6 grand for it. Paid 650 bucks for the Ford body, and yeah, man. So just commenced to it. Had a little bit more money, of course, tied up and all that. You know, with all the wheels and accessories and all the other performance stuff that I did to it, and of course built the flatbed. But yeah, I figured I'd showcase it a little bit, and kind of perhaps give you fellows some ideas if you're wanting to do something like this. So I could spend a lot of time in going over and being very detailed on all the little tidbits I had to do, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do it because it might take me 45 minutes to elaborate on that. So I'm going to keep it sweet and simple, and maybe it'll kind of get you guys in the right direction if you want to do something like this. So right off the bat, I'm running like a it's either a 4.5 or 5.5 inch lift. I can't remember exactly. It's got 38.5 inch super swampers on it. It's got the classic Mickey Thompsons. That's how I build all my old school trucks, man. It is the look. It looks awesome. Love it. Up front, like I said, Dana 60 did the Synergy Manufacturing heavy duty steering setup with the heavy duty track bar. That track bar eliminates all death wobble. Very good setup. Rebuilt the whole front axle, the rear axle, all new bearings and stuff. Put a locker in the front and rear. Spartan, I guess lunchbox lockers, whatever you want to call it. They're automatic ones. Possibly might swap to air operated ones later, just for the sake of, with those, the automatic Spartan lockers stuff, you will get a little bit extra tire wear on the road. So anyway, it'd be great to be able to disengage that stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, but past that, it's awesome. So running rough country shocks and stuff, they're fine. They're budget shocks, but they do great. This truck actually rides really good. You'd be so surprised because it's not running leaf springs. It's got coils on it, so with the radius arm setup, and also that's a 6-ply tire set, so very soft tires. Not good for pulling heavy loads, but for just riding on the road, and obviously they pull great in the mud, man. It rides great, so no complaints, dude. Past that, bumper me and my buddies built, turned out awesome. It's a 6-inch angle, excuse me, 6-inch channel, and then 1/8 inch diamond plate across the top. Incorporated a Harbor Freight 12,000 pound winch in the front, and we got one in the back too. Inside is just a Harbor Freight brace, or excuse me, a winch mount brace that we welded in and tied it all in. And you kind of see how we went and attached it to the Dodge frame. And you'll take note, that is the body mounts. I had to cut them off and re-weld them and whatnot on the, and of course these are Dodge mounts. I just had to remove them on the Dodge frame to accommodate for the Ford body. So you'll notice radiator fans. I had to do those because the way this 96 chassis is set up, the power plant is so far forward that I cannot run the fan to accommodate, the mechanical fan to accommodate for the Ford body. So let me go ahead and pop the hood right quick. Bear with me just a second. Alrighty. So there's our big old 5.9 12 valve. Thing looks fantastic. Done some odd ends to it. Of course, did the KDP on it. Little dowel pin, if you're not familiar with it, that are kind of notorious for falling out on some of these engines. They're you can find it in the cover right here where the timing gears are. Basically, just get in there and put a little plate over it, and that way you don't have to worry about that little pin falling and destroying the block or whatever. So, fleece cheetah turbo. We did 5-inch exhaust coming out the back. Kind of see how we did that. We had to make that out of just got some 5-inch from Napa and kind of made a little downpipe and shot it out the back. So looks really good. Let's see, all the factory wiring out of the Dodge. We retained all that, just swapped it over to the Ford body. So I'm using this, as far as the truck's concerned, it thinks it's a Dodge, you know. So pretty good. And let's take note at how far forward this engine is, and that's just how it sits, because keep in mind, I didn't move this power plant. It's exactly how it is, sits in the Dodge. I just adapted the Ford body to it. It's pretty tight in here, but it's good enough. So anyway, let's say I got these fans that blow air inwards for cooling purposes. New brake booster, master cylinder. Did a bunch of odd end things, man. Fixed little leaks and stuff. You know how it is. Also, you'll see here in a little bit, I am running amp research steps. I got the module right there. And that's a little relay box right there on the firewall I mounted for all my accessories, light bars, train horn, all that good stuff. Little ECM, PCM, whatever you call it, for the, I guess the brain of the truck. So, yeah. But past that, little odd end things, man. There's the throttle linkage built right there. It ain't nothing too pretty, but man, it gets the job done. So to adapt the Ford accelerator pedal to pull that cable for the 12 valve. So that's the new front end, by the way. Thing looks freaking cool. And this is a 78, like I said, and this is like a 76 or 77, I think, front end. I don't really know exactly. I got it off LMC, but dude, it looks beautiful. The other one was all mangled up and looked rough. So yeah, it kind of brings out the front. And the headlights, I got halos. They look really menacing at night. Little Cummins badge. King Ranch badge, because I did a little King Ranch interior. Thought that was kind of cute. Swapped out the 250 badge, of course, on the side. That's a little tribute. I saw on the F-250s, seems like they have them kind of down here on the door panel. So I kind of did that. And I saw some of the Dodges, they have the Cummins badge up here. So, kind of giving tribute to these old trucks or whatever. So that's cool. Okay, let's look into the interior right quick. Open those puppies up and they come down. So the interior, King Ranch seat. Came out of I think it was a 2004, 2006. I don't remember. It was either one. Back seat out of F-250. Very cool, man. I love it. Seat folds down. Have access to behind the seat, and I've got two 10-inch subwoofers and a amp over there behind that one. And also, you can fold this up, and you got a tray, and you keep miscellaneous stuff or store a rifle or something. Very cool setup. And of course, you got the console that flips down. So of course, you have your drinks and stuff, or if you want to flip it up. Hold 3 people in here. So it's a cool setup, because originally I kind of wanted two captain seats with the console. And I was just like, it makes more sense to have the bench seat, because you can't haul 3 people at that point. We got a headliner a buddy of mine here in town made for me. I got the image from somewhere, and anyway, he made it happen, man. He had some material and printed it all on there. He did his thing, man, and I just installed it. It looks cool though. And then the dash, I wrapped the dash to match the seat, of course. Looks pretty cool. Got new trim pieces and stuff all the way around. I say all the way around, not all the way around, but on the dash part at least. You'll notice the 96 Dodge 2500 gauge cluster turned out beautifully. It looks almost factory, man, for the most part. So past that, interior is pretty much done. Other than a couple odd end things, that's out of the Dodge column, and that is also off the Dodge column. I just have not converted that yet to the Ford ignition, and I haven't converted that yet either. But it works fine for now, and I'll get around to it eventually, but it's nothing that's got to be done anytime soon. So got some gauges up here, so you pretty much monitor about everything you want: trans temp, EGTs, and your boost gauge, and then pretty much everything else integrated into the actual Dodge cluster. Past that, I think this was an old fella's truck. The reason I say that, because they come out of a junkyard in North Carolina. I found all sorts of really old cassette tracks, I think that's what you call them, in this truck, and some old glasses and hats. So I was just like, dude, I bet this was an old man's truck, and he just used it for hunting or fishing. At least that's what I like to think, so that's kind of cool. But he had put this 4-wheel drive sticker up here, and I kept it. I was like, that's kind of cool, So anyway, if only he could see this truck now, he'd probably think it's pretty cool setup. So the door panel looks pretty sweet. I plastered it with stickers right here because why not? It looks awesome. The other door panel, I every time one of my friends or whoever just rides with me, I say sign your name on the door. So I'll show the case out here in a little bit. Anyway, it's cool just because I don't necessarily ever plan on getting rid of this truck. So I think it's just cool to have all your friends' names and stuff and whatnot on here. Oh, quick thing, that's a 1000-watt SCAR amp right there, mounted to the firewall for running the door speakers. I have 4 6x9s, of course, one right there, and then I have them in the pillars, one right here, and of course, reciprocal side. So really cool setup there. And Pioneer head unit. It's a AVH 280BT, I believe, something like that. Doubled in. I love it. Of course, the truck has no air conditioner. I have a heater. Maybe someday I'll swap a vintage air kit into it, but I'm fine with it right now. I'm young. I can kind of take the heat to an extent. So, very cool setup. And one thing, I'm not going to paint this truck. Eventually, I'm going to clear coat it to seal it up because, dude, I love the patina look. It looks so cool, dude. I love it. Moving back here to the bed. So basically, this is a cool kind of an off-road / farm bed that I built. It's a 2" by 4" tube, and then that's oak boards that my buddy owns a sawmill. He run those boards for me, and I didn't know that about oak, but they weren't dried. As soon as he cut them, I basically installed them, shrunk up a little bit. No big deal. It still looks cool, but I didn't know that. But when I initially set these boards in here, there was no gaps. I mean, it was tight, but they shrunk. But that's fine. It looks cool. Adds to the overall look. So, yeah. Past that, as you can tell, the bed itself is ever so slightly inside the body lines. Once again, I'm going through trails and stuff. I just didn't want a big wide bed. Kind of tapered the end. Makes it look cool. If I can find the video online that gave me the inspiration to build this, I will. So when I was about 16, I saw a video a fella had built just the coolest old school 60s model Ford. And he did a similar build, and dude, I saw it and I was like, dude, I want to build that. But at the time, I didn't know how to. I didn't have the resources, you know. But a few years later, I think I'm like 22, 23 now, I had the means and whatnot. So I was like, let's do it. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So got the 12,000 pound Badland winch mounted back there. A little tail winch. It's awesome. You know, little LEDs and whatnot. B&W hitch. So very sweet setup. Transfer tank I bought off Marketplace for like $100. Looks awesome. Welded some studs on here and mounted this Harbor Freight high lift jack, or whatever you call it, farm jack. Little chainsaw just for cutting little, you know, odd ends whenever needed occasionally. Little Yeti cooler, stick back there. Keep all your stuff cold, I suppose. Little triangle box. I love these things. They're really cool. This is, I believe this is a Store Smart. I just took the badge off of it and then I put a John Deere sticker on it because it looks kind of cool. So yeah, cool little setup. Little headache rack, simple. Once again, 2" by 4". Little light bar goes across the top. Light bar is very cool. I got it off Amazon. It actually, when you press it on my switch panel, it turns on. But if you like double press it or whatever, long story short, you can make it flash and do all sorts of different modes. Very cool. I like doing that kind of stuff, especially if somebody's like riding your tail at night. You can let them have it. But yeah, man, it's a cool setup. Running the, what is it, Air Dog, I think? Air Dog fuel delivery system. Yeah, it's Air Dog. So pretty sweet setup. What's funny is when I bought the Dodge, I guess it's a freaking I don't know how you want to say it. It's like a thing people like to do to show off. But when I got this filter set, of course, it was just hanging like this low. I was like, dude, that's gonna get ripped off. But then when my buddies was like, ah, man, they do that to show off that they got the Air Dog delivery system or whatever, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I pulled it up, and I just didn't want no limb or anything to hit it. But yeah, I think it's about high as I can get it. So overall, though, really cool setup, dude. The truck turned out phenomenal. Like I love it. It's my baby. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can show you fellas right quick? Because it's like, so I'm trying to make this video relatively short. 5" straight pipe, like I said. It's very simple. I just went to Napa and bought the last bit of 5" I had, and that's a little tip I got. Actually, we got a tire shop here in town. I went there, it's like, hey guys, you guys got any exhaust tips or anything? They're like, yeah, go check the junk file. So I bought that from them for like $20, and I was like, that'll work. So, you know, and that pivot's about to hit me. Oh my goodness. Yukon diff cover, of course, front, back, rebuilt both axles, and that's, if you take note, the disc brakes, I did a disc brake conversion on the back axle, which that's standard for me at this point. All the trucks I build from this time on out, I just do the disc brake conversion, man. It's I just don't like drum brakes. They're old and antiquated, and their disc brakes are easy to put on, so why not? Past that, B&W turnover hitch right there for pulling goosenecks and stuff. So shoot, yeah, man. Let me show you guys this door panel right quick. It's like pretty cool little setup, man. So it's kind of, I guess, sentimental thing to an extent. You know, everybody signing their names. Flip the seat down, show you guys the amp. If I can get it, there we go. It's got a little scar. I think it's a 1500, yeah, 1500 watt, pushing 210s. Those are, I think 2 Scar subs or something, and a Rockville amp, or something like that. I don't quite remember, to be honest with you. Little toolkit back there, 6x9 in the side. Sound deadened everything when I pulled the interior out, because when I first got this truck, it was disgusting. Pulled the interior out. Of course, all the floor panels were about just destroyed, rotted out. Had to weld in about on those floor panels. So, yeah, it was something. Then put all the sound deadening in. Another thing I did was I shot spray foam in a lot of these crevices on the cab just to get rid of all that oil canning noise effect. Of course, did sound deadening on the door panels, so it's all really solid. You know, it doesn't have that old truck metal sound, so that turned out awesome. So shoot, yeah, and there's that little switch panel, aux wing switch panel. I really like it. So basically it's just one little computer wire running to the switch panel, and then you make all your actual terminations at the relay box, which of course mine was on the firewall in the engine bay. So cool little setup there. Little glove box, just odding in things, you know. So shoot, yeah, man. So fold the seat back up. Past that, man, that's trying to think of anything else might help you guys out. So I actually did swap that column in there. That's actually a tilt column out of another truck I was building, which I'm doing a frame off restoration on it, you know, the whole 9 yards, powder coated frames. I'm putting everything new on it, so I pulled it out of that truck, put it in there, so you do have tilt capabilities, so you can adjust it, which is very nice, by the way, especially for bigger folks getting in. So there's that. Yeah, shifter for the Dodge transfer case. I just kind of bent it and manipulated it and got it set about where it needs to be. So shoot, yeah. But yeah, guys, I don't know where else to go with this. I think we ought to fire it up though. Kind of let you guys hear it run, and yeah. Oh, another thing is I broke my lead off the front. I got it stuck. I'll see if I can find a photo of it. It was the first time I've ever got this truck stuck, and a lot of people told me when I get it stuck, it's gonna be bad stuck, and by God, they were right, man. This thing was so stuck. You get a giant 5S Massey Ferguson out there, man, that tractor started popping a wheelie trying to pull it out. It was bad stuck. But only time I've ever been stuck in it, I've been in some very, very sketchy places, but once again, lockers in the front and back, 4-wheel drive engaged, man, this son of a gun will crawl like a tank. I mean, this thing will go, buddy. So yeah, shoot, yeah, guys. Let me go set this phone up and let's fire this thing up and see what you guys think. All right, y'all, pretty much gonna end the video here. I hope y'all really enjoyed the video. This has been something I've been meaning to do for a while because I built this truck almost a year ago. I've actually got another build coming up I need to showcase. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have an awesome day. And let me get this camera prop up. This is a very, very expensive camera prop, by the way. Don't want to leave it there in the dirt road. I'm gonna leave you guys with it. Y'all have an awesome one.